Welcome to my channel, Over 60 Scene, and I'm Wilma. And this morning, it's a Saturday morning, a snowy, cold Saturday morning, and I felt like making some waffles for breakfast, and which is a really nice comfort food on a really cold, snowy day like today. So I'm gonna show you the ingredients. Okay, I've got my dishwasher running, so I hope it's not too loud, but anyway. Okay, I've got a bowl for mixing. I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour right here. I've got 1 3/4 cups of whole milk. I've got some salt, because there's going to be, I think, a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put the recipe in the message box so you'll have the exact measurements. I also have some baking powder, and I have some cinnamon sugar, and I have 2 whole eggs, and I'm heating up my waffle iron. I have a small waffle iron that makes 2 small square waffles. And the reason I like that is because then when I have the leftovers, I can put them in the freezer and I can warm them up later during the week in the toaster or in the microwave. So here's what it looks like on the inside. It's getting very hot. And this particular one I've had quite a while, and I set it on a number 5 because I want it to, be good and hot. Okay, so I'm going to crack my eggs into my bowl. That one was stubborn. And I always like to use a hand mixer for mixing the eggs. Okay, then I'm going to pour in my 1 3/4 cups of milk. Give that a good mix. Okay, and then I'm going to add my 2 cups of flour. I can feel it getting thicker. Then I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of baking powder. And then I'm going to add my cinnamon sugar. The cinnamon is optional. It's 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. If you don't want the cinnamon, you can just eliminate it. And now I'm going to gradually add 1/2 cup melted butter. And I want to make sure I get all that butter, because that's going to keep my waffles from sticking to the waffle iron. Very important. I can feel that. That's nice and mixed now. Oh, and I forgot my salt. We need a half a teaspoon of salt. So I just happen to have this Himalayan salt. If it's going to make pink waffles. Actually, the proper way to do this would have been to put your dry ingredients all together first. Your flour and your salt and your baking powder. That would have been the proper way to do it. But I didn't think it really mattered. Doesn't really matter. They always come out tasting really good. Okay. Now I just want to scrape the bowl to make sure that there's no flour stuck or anything like that. So, looks really good. Okay. Now, I find it works best if you pour it with a 1/3 cup measuring into each side of the waffle iron. Of course, if your waffle iron is round, it may be a different situation for you. I'm gonna open up, I'm gonna move this so you can see it better. I'm going to scoop a 1/3 cup on each side of my waffle iron. And this waffle iron is good and hot because I preheated it for a good long time, and that's very important. Turning on my counter light, I don't know why I didn't think to do that sooner. Then you go for like 2 minutes. You watch the steam as the steam comes out. And when the steam lessens, then you know it's done. I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes. So you can see the steam coming out. I think you can see it. Which is obviously the moisture releasing itself from the waffle batter. And I forgot to point out, on my waffle iron it has a green light that tells you when it's ready, when it's preheated. So you know when it's good and hot. I think the brand on this is General Electric, but I've had this for probably 20 years, so I don't even know if they still make them. Yeah, but I like it because of the shape and the portions. You know, you get two rectangular waffles. You never want to wash your waffle iron with soap and water because it's kind of one of those things that it conditions over time and it prevents the waffles from sticking. Okay, so that's been a little more than 2 minutes, but I'm still seeing a lot of steam coming out. I'm gonna let it go another 10 seconds. I see the steam diminishing now. Yeah, now I see it diminishing. Okay, so now we're gonna lift it up. And we're gonna check. Oh, those are nice and done. Ooh, yeah. And you release them from, sometimes they're stuck on the top, sometimes they're stuck on the bottom. You just don't know. There's the first ones. Okay, and then we just keep going until all this batter is used. And I forgot to mention, the reason I have the tray underneath is so that in case it drips out from the sides, which it does sometimes, it won't, you know, it's easy cleanup. I'm going to set the timer again for 2 minutes. Okay, the next set of waffles is almost done. Still quite a bit of steam. Okay, let's see what these next ones look like. Ooh, this is quite hot. I don't remember it getting so hot. So use a potholder if you have to. Those ones are nicely filled out. The next ones. Seems like the first ones are a little bit iffy, but then the ones after that work really well. getting down to the bottom of the bowl, so it's getting a little hard to scoop. So I'm going to have to estimate these last two here. Sometimes they don't fill out as nicely doing it that way, but we'll see. Okay, well this is the last two, and this is the two that I'm going to eat. There's the timer. So let's see how these are. Oh, okay, they came up pretty well, even though they were the bottom of the bowl. Delicious. I can hardly wait to dig into those. Okay, let me turn off my waffle iron. Get my syrup. I always like to have my waffles with real maple syrup, but I'm going to warm it up in the microwave for maybe 30 to 30 seconds first. So there, you kind of get the idea how to make waffles, and then of course you put maple syrup on them, which I'm going to show you next, and then you eat them. The best part of all. Gonna give it a little stir. You always have to be careful when you're heating anything that is sugary, because it is very hot and you could easily be burned. I know, that's a ridiculous amount of syrup, but that's how I like them. All right, let's see here now. Oh, so good. So incredibly good. Look at that nice stack of waffles I made. Now those are going to go in the freezer so that I can have them either during the week or other snowy mornings when I have a craving for a waffle. So I got my orange juice. I'm going to go sit down and eat. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make waffles. We always made these when I was growing up. It's a very economical breakfast. And as seniors, we all know that we like things that are economical. And yes, it has a lot of carbs, and that's why I reserve these for special mornings. But if you combine it with, some fruit or a glass of orange juice, it's a good hearty breakfast. And my husband already had his breakfast earlier, so, and here it is, it's noon on Saturday, and this is what I'm having. So this is my first meal of the day, so I think I'll be all right. So anyway, thanks for watching me. Come back again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Bye. Keep smiling.